everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about a smartphone that prioritizes something most brands treat as an afterthought: longevity. Fairphone just announced the Fairphone 6 Plus, and for the first time, it's officially available in the United States. No third-party middlemen, no forced alternative operating system, just a standard Android phone sold directly by Fairphone and on Amazon. This is a meaningful moment. Fairphone has been building modular, repair-friendly phones in Europe for years. Now Americans can buy one, unlocked, with support for T-Mobile and AT&T, starting at $649. In Europe, it's $649. Let's break down what you actually get. What's new compared to the Fairphone 6? The Fairphone 6 Plus is not a radical redesign. It's a refined upgrade of last year's Fairphone 6. The two biggest internal changes are more RAM, 12 gigabytes instead of 8 gigabytes, a newer processor, Qualcomm Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 instead of the previous Gen 3. Fairphone says this combination delivers smoother multitasking and faster app loading, up to around 24% improvement in some scenarios. Everything else stays essentially the same. Same design language, same modular construction, same focus on repairability and responsible materials. It comes in 3 colors: Horizon Black, Forest Green, and a new Cobalt Blue. The blue shade is intentional. It's a nod to the company's work on improving conditions in cobalt mining. Now about design and repairability, the real star. This is where Fairphone separates itself from almost every other phone on the market. The device is built around 12 user-replaceable parts. With a single Torx T5 screwdriver, you can swap the battery, display, USB-C port, cameras, and back cover in under 5 minutes for the most common ones. Other parts like the microphones, side buttons, and fingerprint sensor are designed to be serviceable at repair centers. Spare parts are promised through at least 2033, and they're priced reasonably. A new battery is around $40, a display around $90. The phone also carries a 5-year warranty, which is significantly longer than most competitors offer. iFixit previously gave the Fairphone 6 a perfect 10/10 repairability score, and the 6 Plus uses the same modular approach, so it should score the same. You also get modular accessories that screw onto the back, like card holders or finger loops. The trade-off for easy access is an IP55 rating, good against dust and low-pressure water jets, but not fully waterproof. It's also military standard drop tested up to 1.5 meters and features Gorilla Glass 7i on the front. Dimensions are roughly 156.6 by 73.3 by 9.6 millimeters and weighs about 193 grams. It feels solid without being heavy. Now about display, performance, and software. The screen is a 6.31-inch LTPO OLED panel with a resolution of 1116 by 2484, adaptive 10 to 120 Hz refresh rate, and peak brightness up to 1400 nits. It's sharp, smooth, and bright enough for outdoor use. Protection comes from Gorilla Glass 7i. Under the hood, the Snapdragon 7S Gen 4, paired with 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM and 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage, handles everyday tasks, multitasking, and moderate gaming comfortably. There's a dedicated micro SD slot that supports up to 2 terabytes of expansion, something increasingly rare. It ships with Android 16 and is promised 6 major OS upgrades. Software and security support is expected to run through 2032 or 2033, depending on the exact wording from Fairphone. That's long-term commitment in a market where many phones get 3 or 4 years at best. There's also a physical switch that puts the phone into a simplified Fairphone Moments mode, limiting apps and notifications if you want fewer distractions. Now about cameras and battery. The camera setup is dual rear, a 50-megapixel main sensor, Sony Leitia 700C, with optical image stabilization, and a 13-megapixel ultra-wide. Up front is a 32-megapixel selfie camera. It records 4K video at 30 FPS. This is a capable everyday camera system, not a photography flagship. Daylight shots look good, low light is decent with processing help, but don't expect flagship-level zoom or extreme dynamic range. Battery capacity is 4,415 milliamp hours and fully user-removable. Fairphone claims close to 2 days of mixed use, with support for 30-watt wired charging, roughly 50% in about 20 to 30 minutes. No wireless charging here. Another concession to modularity and simplicity. Now about sustainability angle. More than half the materials in the phone come from recycled or fairly sourced sources. Fairphone continues its focus on fair wages, responsible mining, and reducing e-waste. The company positions the device as carbon efficient compared with typical smartphones, and it aims for e-waste neutrality. The long software support and easy repairs are designed to keep the phone in use for many years, instead of ending up in a drawer or landfill after 2 or 3. Now, who is this phone for? If you want the absolute fastest processor, the best camera system, or the thinnest design for the money, there are stronger, pure performance options in the mid-range. The Fairphone 6 Plus is not trying to win those contests. It is for people who value being able to fix their own phone, long software support, a company that prioritizes ethical sourcing and repairability, keeping a device for 5, 6, or 7 years instead of upgrading every couple of years. At $649, it sits in a competitive price range, but the value proposition is different. You're paying for durability, support, and the ability to maintain the device yourself. Now, final thoughts. The Fairphone 6 Plus is a thoughtful evolution rather than a revolution. More RAM and a newer chip make it more future-proof. The official US availability removes previous barriers, and the modular design remains its strongest feature. In a market full of sealed, disposable phones, this is a genuine alternative for anyone tired of planned obsolescence. If repairability, longevity, and responsible manufacturing matter to you, this is one of the most interesting phones released this year. Check carrier compatibility before buying, and consider whether the 5-year warranty and long parts availability fit how you actually use your phone. That's the Fairphone 6 Plus. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you've owned a Fairphone before, or if you're considering this one. See you in the next video.